Now we've got none other than my friend Ali Riley joining me. It's been a crazy, crazy few days for Ali. Thank you so much. You are my friend, and I appreciate you making time. But like, it's been 3 days since you announced your retirement. You've done so many interviews, so thank you so much for taking the time. Like, how are you feeling?
Lianne, I didn't know people would care this much. I wasn't expecting any of this. And I planned a baby shower for Claire Emsley yesterday. So I haven't even opened my text messages. I've obviously seen bits and bobs on Instagram, and I'm so overwhelmed. I feel so loved, so supported. I didn't know people would really understand what I've been going through or just that I feel so seen, I guess, seen and loved, and that makes me really, really lucky.
Yeah, I mean, you are seen and loved, and it's like you're so humble. I mean, we are good friends, and every time I come to LA, we make the point of seeing each other, and
Sure.
and we speak all the time as well. And I feel like we've been there for each other through, like, I've seen you through this injury, seeing how
Yes.
it's impacted you, and like I think the biggest thing about you is putting yourself first. I mean, I've said this to you every time I see you. I'm like, Ali, please stop thinking about everybody else and put yourself first. But you just can't do it,
Right.
can you? You just don't have it in you. Like that's why you've been such a great leader. But like, talk to me a little bit about what it's been like trying to put yourself first instead of the team and everybody else. Because everybody looks to you, don't they, for that kind of guidance?
I I had to get to a really bad place before I could really listen to your advice. And so that is something that I'm so glad that it is a message that you're sharing. And it's one that I will share as much as possible now because I could not turn this process around until I had really processed what was going on with me, accepted that it could have been the end, and actually said, look, I can't be at training every day. I can't be in every team meeting. And that hurt, it actually pains me. Like I feel sick thinking that I'm not going to be in a team meeting or that last season I traveled even though I wasn't going to play or and I wasn't in the roster and I would sit in the suite and watch and I'd be on the field during warmups. It was not sustainable and I was losing myself by trying to be someone for everybody else. And so now that is part of the reason why I am retiring because I do need to preserve me and I have enough left to give now for the rest of the season. I hope it is more than 4 games, but I can't do this long term where I can come in and be my best self for my teammates, for the club, and then also be my best self for not just my husband and my family, but for me. And I want to be a mom. I want to have adventures. I want to have a new career and be successful at that. And so finding that balance is really hard. But right now, I feel really lucky because I can just be completely myself, celebrate what this career has been, thank all of the people who have helped me get to this point, not just in the last year and a half with my injury, but, all the way from when I was a small girl. And so right now is just a really special time. It's hard, but I am excited for what is next. And your friendship has meant so much to me. And also seeing you excel and thrive in this chapter of your life makes me feel really hopeful. And there's so many former players who are doing amazing things, and I want to be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen yesterday you got announced on to be doing this Champions League coverage for CBS. Like that's exciting. And I've always said like all of my bosses always like, let us know when Ali's retiring. And in my mind, like I didn't even think it was anytime soon. Although you've had this injury, I still believe that you'd find a way. Now, you have found a way back on the field, but how were you feeling? Because obviously you had this injury that like what was crazy about it is that no one knew what it was, did they? Just tell us a little bit about it. I know about it, but like it's quite a unique case because it's like no one really knew what to do, did they?
Right. So basically, from training and playing for a long time, running many miles, and probably a little bit the way I run, the way my body is just genetically or anatomically. I would get muscle strains in my glutes or in my hips, not so much like knee problems, back problems, ankle problems. And I've been lucky in that with this type of injury, you can keep going. I've lived with chronic pain for a really long time, but you just keep going. I've realized now that that might not have been the best thing to just never take a break when I was having this type of pain. I was getting injection after injection with steroids, and it would give me relief for a short period of time. And then what happened right before the Olympics is that my body basically completely shut down. So what I was feeling was a nerve irritation, compression. I would get that shock, the shock. Anyone who's had a nerve injury will know that
Mm.
feeling. It is a sickening feeling. It is lightning down your leg. Some people it comes from their back. For me, it was kind of my glute down and not past my knee. So I'm really, really lucky. I didn't have nerve damage, probably could have gotten to that point. But what was happening is from the muscle strains, from scar tissue inside my glute, the sciatic nerve runs down. And I was just, when I would try to run, sprint, kick a ball, reach, it's pressing on the nerve. So that is the shock down the leg. So we need to find a way to create space. It took months to find a solution. It took many doctors, a lot of effort and time from my physios here at Angel City, creativity, traveling to Salt Lake City. I've been 5 times to get a different type of injection that will not hurt me long term and can just create space. And so I have slowly, through strengthening, I have changed my body. The injections have helped. And so now I can play. We had training yesterday, 11v11 for like 2 hours, and I was sprinting around. I hit 8K. Like, I'm doing it. And of course, I hope that that ends in getting a chance to get on the field. But the fact that I am available, that I am playing a role that so many players have to play at different times in their career. Yeah, this is the one I'm playing at the end. I'm helping my team be successful, and I am whoever they need me to be, but I'm able to do it. And I get to end my career on my own 2 feet, sprinting, hit 97% of my max speed yesterday, doing the things and
Of course you did. I expect nothing. I
feeling
mean,
good.
I expect nothing. You are honestly one of the fittest people that I know. And I want to share a couple of stories because, like, there was one that I sound like a stuck record, but I was in the jacuzzi in San Diego the day before the NWSL final. And I hear this, like, I feel this, like, gush of wind next to me. And it's you sprinting. And you're like, the season had just ended. You know, you weren't in the playoff, in the final, in the championship, but you were there doing an appearance. And, like, a lot of NWSL players were there. And, like, you are so fit, Al. So I think this is kind of amazing that like somebody like you that is super, super fit, that this type of thing happens to. And I think your message that you're sending is so impactful because, you know, and then the last time I saw you, you had little kids in tears outside of the box. We came to see each other because you came on air with me. And like there was these kids that were so excited to meet you. I took a video of it and they were crying. They couldn't believe they'd met Ali Riley. So the impact that you have had on people. Like I was in tears. It was so amazing, and you are so humble. Like, and I can't speak. You know what I think of you anyway. But like the fact that everybody has been sharing their stories and you know on Instagram and socials about you. Like, I'm not surprised. But like the fact that you've been able to do this in a city that you absolutely love. We know anybody that follows you, anybody that knows you, how close you are to your family and your parents. You've had a lot happen in the last 6 months. You know, you've got married, which is unbelievable, to the amazing Lucas. Your parents, who I absolutely adore, love, like they lost their home in the Pacific Palisades fire, and then you got married in the same. Love the t-shirt. Look at that, represent. Got married in literally the same week. Like, just talk to me about those feelings and just how like it's so powerful, Al, that you're able to still do all that. And now you've been through your injury, now you're retiring, and it's all happened, hasn't it? And you just still have that kind of positivity, light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, oh my gosh, Lianne, whenever I think about the Palisades, I have such an amazing memory of dining with you and my parents, and just you were loving it. You went shopping, of course, in the Palisades Village after, and you got your nails done, you were thriving. And that is one of the reasons why I'm so excited for Palisades to be rebuilt, and you will come visit us here. But yeah, I guess I just want to share joy. And I've been given so much in my life growing up in Pacific Palisades. I mean, it is an incredible place to be from. And the opportunities that I've received through soccer, because my parents could afford me to send me to a school like Harvard Westlake. I didn't get a full scholarship to Stanford. I've been given so much. My parents have given me everything. And different coaches and the clubs I've been in, I've been empowered to be a leader who might not be the best player on the team, but has a voice and can inspire others and motivate others. So I was rewarded for being me at such a young age. And that makes me really, really lucky. And that is a huge privilege. And so I think to come back to LA to represent a country like New Zealand, it's been about giving back for a really, really long time. And so to end my career in LA, yes, we lost our home. Yes, I have this injury, but I still have so much more than so many people, and I have a platform. So why not share bits of my life because people are interested and they care and they want to know, and they feel seen, they feel represented, and just engage with fans who have spent money to come and see me and my teammates play, to buy my jersey. I still cannot believe that. And I just feel lucky that people care. And I know that's a part of me that's rooted in the culture and society and sports that we grew up in, where I'm still surprised that people care about me and Angel City and sports. Like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to lose that because that is all I've known, but it also makes me just really, really grateful. And so, what I want is for these next generation of players who have so much more to still be light for other people, to use their platform to do good, to advocate, to be vulnerable. And so if I can role model that, even if it's coming from a different place because I am a lot older, I don't know. I hope that the biggest message is just to be kind and that you can be a badass soccer player, you can be an elite athlete, you can be competitive as hell on the soccer field. You can win championships. You can represent a club like Angel City, that I think is the most important sports club in the world. And you can still be kind. You can still make time for other people. You can still try to foster a welcoming and inclusive environment. That doesn't mean I don't want to win. And so I think that message, I'm so glad that people have felt that from me, and that when you get to the end, you can't take the things with you, but how you made people feel, that can last for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I mean, this is why I love you, because you're so motivating. Like, when I just hear you speak, you still have that positivity. And like, have you had, I know you still got 4 games to go of Angel City, and you've said they're going to, like, you'll support the team in any way you can, whether that be playing or off the field. But like, when you look back on these amazing teams that you've played for, those Chelsea fans will know you're at the club for a year. Now you're ending at Angel City, Orlando Pride, Bayern Munich, Rosengart. Like, you've stepped outside your comfort zone, haven't you? But when you look back on these experiences, like, what is something that you'll take from all those experiences in different places? Like, is there one club or one place you've lived where you're like, that I learned a lot about myself?
Going to Sweden, again, a lot of this, and I'm realizing as people write things about me, a lot of my career and really positive things came out of some tough situations. I didn't expect to be traded here from Orlando Pride. I had to go overseas because the WPS folded. And that's one of the most traumatic things that in my career that has happened to me alongside this injury. But going to Sweden after I was devastated by the league folding and I was heartbroken. I was so disappointed. I was bitter about it for a really long time. And to go to this country that I knew very little about, I didn't know anybody on the team. And I went there with such an open mind. I learned the language. I met, my dream partner, and I built a life for myself there. And I think it taught me to, you got to go in, yes, with an open mind, but you have to make the most of every chance you get. That was a club that wanted me when an entire league folded. I'm going to give them everything. Those teammates welcomed me with open arms. I'm going to give them everything every day. And again, because I had experienced my team, FC Gold Pride folding, the league folding, I didn't know how long this was going to last. So I'm going to make the most of it. And I will never take anything for granted. I will never take a club like Angel City for granted. But I think that helped me really find myself. And I started doing videos and that kind of thing. And I really built a life, and I had balance. I loved being there. Of course, I met Lucas. I was I started a podcast. I was doing all of these things and really felt like myself. And then it was time to push myself again and make amazing friends and get more exposure and work with the Chelsea media team while I was injured and build my brand there. And then I think in Germany, I pushed myself physically, emotionally on the soccer side, but I didn't feel like I had so much off the field in terms of being a full whole holistic self. And so going to Orlando was the best thing that could have happened to me. What we did there as a collective in the league, what we did as a team, what we stood up for, kneeling for the national anthem with shirts every game, with messages for who we were, what we wanted to do. We wanted to protect trans rights. We're sick of the racism against Asians during COVID. Black Lives Matter. That was the most empowered I've ever felt. And that definitely kickstarted, I think, who I really have become known to be at Angel City because of all of those experiences and kind of culminating with that Orlando Pride team, the hard conversations we had, and who I realized I wanted to be at the end of my career and beyond.
And this is the last one for me, like 4 games to go of Angel City. Like, have you ever thought about what's next for you, or are you just still thinking, I'm still in it? I know you're going to be doing some broadcasting stuff, but are you like, what is next?
I've thought about it for a while. I've had more time because I didn't know if I would be playing again and that my days would be filled with training. I thought I might have to actually retire early, or I didn't know if I would be able to keep going. I thought about giving up a lot. I I love being in front of the camera. I love storytelling. I love the game. The men's game, the women's game. I want to create something where we can be talking about women's sports all the time. It's not just online. It's not on one channel on TV between these hours. No, you turn on the TV any time of the day or night and there's men's sports. There's someone talking about men's sports. There's a podcast. There's someone just rattling off all these things that have happened in the NFL and college football, darts, bowling. There's men's sports everywhere. And I think the storylines, the culture, the lifestyle, the players, the games, it's so exciting. And there is space for all of us now. And so I just want to kind of push the needle and see where we can go, maybe create something that isn't out there already. But I want to grow the game. I want to give back. And if that is through making a fool of myself on TV, whatever I have to do. Shaquille O'Neal is like my sports personality icon, and I'm like a prankster and I'm a jokester, and I think yeah, not having such buttoned up commentary or like I don't know. I just think we're in a new space right now for women's sports, and everyone is ready for all of the stories and all of the things, and so I have some things in the works, but
Okay, so it's a matter of watch this space. Well,
yes, yes.
Ali, honestly, I can't thank you enough for coming on my show. You're a good friend of mine. Congratulations on a fantastic career.
Thank you,
Just
Leanne.
because you're retiring from soccer doesn't mean you're retiring from life. And what I mean by that is that every time you speak, everybody needs to listen. You're a fantastic leader, fantastic person, fantastic teammate. And you know what I think of you anyway. But honestly, enjoy these next 4 games. Take time for yourself. And thanks so much for joining me.
Next time, I'll be in that jacuzzi too, okay?
Can't wait.